Good day, this is Bruno Matle here with the SalesVision plan of training. We're on Mindset360. I'm working on day 4. I've been through this video a few times. It's so touching. This man, he made a huge impact, Mark Hoverson, on many lives. And sadly, he is departed and he left behind a family and children, and that really touches me because I sit here alone, and somebody like that had to go, that I'm here. It just brings a great amount of depth to it. This man, he made great impact upon Angel Love and Vincent Ortega and Clifton Hatfield, and basically thanks to his impact with them is why SalesVision now exists, because the training and mindset that he implied and put forward with his teachings on Solomon, which is part of the program at SalesVision at higher levels, it's how to take one's impact and bring it into the industry, bring what one feels into the world. I've got very messy notes, so bear with me. But Mark Hoverson, basically, a review on him, he was down, he was, drinking his pains and sorrows away and being so thankful for neighbors bringing groceries, and he put them on the floor and they prayed over them in thanks because he was so broken and messed at this point in his time. He was touched deeply by this. He was, at some times he was unable to even rise out of bed, and at these times he had words read over him from his wife to keep the energy going and keep the hope alive. At a very depressing point, but he was just on the point of losing it and wondering what to do, wants a way to provide, because it's emasculating to a person if they cannot provide for requirements, or family even more so, or your children. That's very touching. He was going to a point like that, but he never gave up. He was going to see a counselor, and the important point about that was the counselor was asking him, how's your business going? And Mark replied, I'm turning the corner. This kept proceeding for a few weeks. Then in about a month, this counselor was saying, it seems like, and he gets up and walks in a circle. You've been turning a corner, because of course 4 corners turns into a complete circle, right? So his business was going in cycles of going around and around. Doesn't get too much forward. I think we've all been there at some time, He couldn't take it anymore. He's got to figure it out, and takes a bit of naivety, he's saying. How you have to just believe in the result, even though there's no proof visible to you. That's what faith actually is. But that's the part in life where we have to proceed. There's a goal. Sometimes the road to get to it isn't going to be exactly clear, But his goal, he wanted to make $500,000 in this industry, and his mentor, Mark's mentor, was saying, he's been around it for 8 years and he's seen mostly $60,000 to $80,000 is what gets made there. And again, we have to be naive and overthink it and accept greater results. That was worded very, very explicitly, but of course I lose that in the midst of my notes here. It's reality distortion, same as Steve Jobs had applied. That basically too, that's the only reason of any of my successes in my life, was I believed it in spite of everything around me telling me no, can't do that, no, this route's closed. So I really feel for this story. Took me a long time to get to the capacity to try and do this video, because I was breaking down every time I tried to watch the video. Because you have to believe in spite of everything around you. That's like what's his name came up with the light. He made the incorrect light bulb thousands of times before he made the one that did work, right? So, have to keep at it. Have to keep at it through the ridicule and the blasphemy and the being made fun of and joked at and laughed at by all the ones that won't do for themselves. Ha ha ha, right? You can either make excuses or money, I have found, and this just exemplifies it, you know? Yeah, it's akin to driving down the road at 1,000 miles an hour, and there's going to be bugs and hitting the windshield and squirrels running under the wheels and whatnot. But if your purpose is strong enough, you're going to drive through that anyhow. You have to. You absolutely have to. There's no other way. To succeed is living what's in our heart and in our being and putting that out there, irrelevant to anything else. When you're going galactic speed, he would visualize with Solomon and take the verses and visualize that all of the promises were happening, which is said in Malachi as well. We have to just believe. If we do, and we store up good, there's going to be good that comes back. I have found too. You get extraneous stuff out of your way, and then what you focus on can easier come. So I really take away a powerful point in that there as well. Yeah, the quote is from there that he will bring in so much blessing that he will open the windows of heaven and bring in so much blessing that you won't know where to put it. Yeah, the universe wants to deliver abundantly. We were not meant to be sitting there in mere existence. We're here to live out loud, live in joy, be the dream, you know. Mark envisioned so much that was coming into his account that he had to go get another bank account. That's how he envisioned it. Due to, you know, processing, and in his mind's eye, he was of the vision aspect that the government only allows so much money in a bank account, right? And in his dream and his vision, he was filling that up, had to go get more bank accounts. Is that an abundant mindset? I think so. Faith is the evidence of things not seen. That is living what in faith is. Yeah, you have to believe it before you see it. If you don't, well, you're in your own way, basically. Yes, I have trouble reading my own notes. If you could see how terrible I write. Yeah, there's a reason I type on a computer, right? So, you know, the reason, and believe it, he allowed himself to get basically out from a welfare application status point, that's pretty low, to going to 8 figures, and envisioning receiving texts of people's joy at receiving payments. And before the review that he had videoed that I watched, he had just received a text with somebody who'd just received $8,000. How much of a plus is that? It's a lovely thing to see the empowerment of others, right? I'm going to skim through my notes here because this video will drag on and on endlessly otherwise. He wrote all this stuff. That's what the course is of Solomon. That's in the diamond level of this wonderful program of SalesVision, which I'm being given an insight to, so I'm going to be studying a lot, learning a lot. Have to see it before we can see the manifestation. We have to have the faith first. Have to have the faith first. Have to have the faith first. Yeah, big blessing. I can't get across the rest of it because of that. You know. Yeah. Life is super fragile. Yeah, he wanted his children to be able to get through this and leave something for them and make a legacy for them. That's the real long and short between why Solomon program came into being for his children and everyone else we can touch, everyone else that sees this message and sees SalesVision and can take part in this fun business game instead of playing a game for losing time, play a game to enhance and enrich your life and the lives of others, right? The motivations were natural and heartfelt because he wanted to help his children and his friends, and it was a nice money maker on the side. So it's sharing wisdom which empowers others, and the byproduct is money. That's an important thing to note, I feel. It's very important. Because if you chase money just for money's sake, that's called greed. When you're doing what you love and you just apply the money to empower others, then it's a tool. Huge difference. Huge difference. And that's what I see. He was really concerned as well for his Micah, his son. There were other three, they always went and ran and did things together, and this one sometimes didn't. And his silk lining was the fact of, but this way I get to go and get all the candy. So how beautiful are children that they could see the most wonderful thing where we see a lack, and he was missing out with his other brothers and siblings. And yeah, but he got all the candy. Interesting. It's nice to note how perspective can change. Yeah, he wanted to serve and make a legacy for his children. And basically this gentleman, Mark Hoverson's creation, is what's empowering myself now and everybody that's being touched in SalesVision. So it's a humbling and empowering experience. And for myself, I've been on the self-improvement field for 35, 40 years of my 50-year existence. Right? So it's an ongoing thing. I could totally feel for this whole system and this whole information, because when you disseminate information and light and send it down layer by layer, it's going to increase how many people it can touch. And that's the power of this system. We're being given a system that can empower everyone you shared with as well. So have fun with this. Thank you for bearing with me. Have yourself a great day by intent and design. This is Bruno Matle signing off. Ciao.